The Arizona-Sonora Desert Museum, located in Tucson, Arizona, is a zoo and an arboretum primarily with outdoor demonstrations set up with live plants and animals. It is also an educational and research facility. I had the privilege to volunteer from 2008 until 2022. My experience in photography and horticulture allowed many photographic and research assignments. There are many animals on display at the museum. Some have their own natural enclosure. There are 2 aviaries for birds, plus many wild birds and animals that make their home at this oasis in the desert. A few of the birds I photographed are illustrated here. The diversity of animals in the desert is amazing. They are well represented with live specimens at the Desert Museum. While photographing plants and occasional special projects, I had opportunities to photograph many of the animals, some in their own enclosures and some with the museum's handlers, and some wild, such as rattlesnakes, that I have taken up residence at the museum. One of the interesting occasions was of 2 animals that were wild and used the museum grounds as home. The desert gray fox is the only dog species able to climb trees, much like a cat. This particular one chose an abandoned Cooper's hawk nest to sleep through the day. Hundreds of museum visitors walked under the fox's daybed, never knowing what was occurring in plain sight above their heads. I had some minor involvement in a few desert museum research projects. The museum conducts research and preservation on rare and endangered species of plants and animals. One plant species I was photographing was a plant called blue star. A particular species of blue star, carny blue star, is a rare plant type known only from the Babel-Keevery Mountains southwest of Tucson. This species is protected under the Endangered Species Act. Uniquely, carny blue star has all white flowers. A surprise to me was the number of different species of bees that are found in the desert in the Sky Island area around the Sonoran Desert. More than 1,000 different kinds of bees are native to the Sonoran Desert region. In fact, the desert around Tucson has more species of native bees than almost anywhere else in the world. The museum is involved in capturing and identifying many of the species. They are trying to understand the factors that influence different bee activity and how all this might be affected by climate change. Native bees range in size from 2 to 4 millimeters to the large carpenter bee at 20 to 28 millimeters. The study of different stages of plant growth is called phenology. The Desert Museum has collected data on many plants of the Sonoran Desert. For example, flowering times of these plants are listed on their website. Photographing them and learning about them has been a rewarding challenge as a volunteer. The Desert Museum and many other research facilities are attempting to determine how climate change will affect plants and the creatures that depend upon them, including us. Arizona-Sonora Desert Museum is a must-do visit when in Tucson, for a wonderful, creative place to be one of their 400 to 500